Pounders, welcome back. Today, we're doing another episode of The Big Board. Little different though. We're only going to draft our fades and lowest owned players. 5% and under is going to be the goal. Every single round, we can reach up to, let's do like 18 picks, 16, 18 picks, like a round and a half. We're still going to try to correlate a team. We're still going to try to make a team that makes sense. But let's get some of our fades for one of our final drafts for the big board. Alex Mack here early. What's going on, my man? Adam here, and we are on the back end. Big surprise. We tried doing this stream a little earlier, I think sometime last week, and we had a bug. So if you guys made it out to that stream, you saw it live, but we did not post it because it was trash. We got the 12 spot here. We had the 2 spot in that draft where we drafted our fade. So this is part 2, really. We had the 2 spot. We had to go Gibbs. We had to go Gibbs at 2. So being on the back end will, I believe, help us. It's probably going to be JT. Oh, dear. This might be a double RB start. Not ideal. Not ideal. Want to what? It could even be worse. It could even be Nico. Let me check the expos here real quick. I got it up right here. Oh, dear. It can't. Oh, thank God. We're at 6.3% Nico. Not that that's a good thing. We've been taking a little more of him now that he's falling on the back end, which I think is smart, getting players at a better price than early drafters. But yeah, we had him ranked in the red throughout the whole since contest open. So I do feel good about that one. What's my HN at? HN's at 4.2. Taylor's actually at 6%. Let's see what Marvin Harrison's at. I'm relatively balanced, 8.5. Kyron's at 4.9, so we actually have less Kyron than JT, just because I think of the amount that JT's falling. Like we have some JT that's fallen to like 21, which is pretty insane. Especially for a guy in a team that does let Zach Moss go to Cincy. They don't do anything in free agency. Are they guaranteed to bring in a running back in the draft? Maybe. Like we were thinking like round 4+. And then even with this draft, we think that's going to affect JT or Kyron. Sure. A-Rich, potential stealing of goal line touches and whatnot. I agree. But that's why he's falling to where he is. But you can get a falling JT, and it doesn't feel as bad as, when he was early ranked. Like what? He was like pick 12, 13 to start. So, all right. Tyreek goes at 2. You get CeeDee Lamb falling to 4. It's a little gift there. Bindies, what's up, my man? Peanut butter and jelly, guys. Welcome to the live stream. If you guys are just coming in, slap the like, hit the subscribe button. We are 2 subbies away from 1,200. It'd be cool to get there on this one. I was going to say, it might be Gibbs there for us. Oh, Gibbs at 4.9. That would have been perfect. So it's going to be Kyron and Achan. Honestly, I think it's a unique combination. So I don't love it, obviously, starting double RB. I don't like it. But maybe we do have an advantage over some of those early Nico drafters where we think Nico should be in this middle to later end of the 3rd round. So maybe we do get a little unique here, and it's not as bad as it seems. Seems like there are some grenade wide receivers in this 2nd round, I will say. Drake London off the board at 16. JT at 17. Like, JT at 17 feels good. I'm not going to lie. I know some sites have him ranked like super late, but the one I'm really mad about, if you guys didn't catch the Adam Schefter going on with ETR and then doing that little show, and they asked the question, what's one player that you think is basically going to go either earlier or later in the NFL draft? And Shefty's answer was AD. And he thinks he's going to go a lot earlier than consensus, which was in the first round, on the back end of the first round, like the last 8 picks. A lot earlier, which is interesting because if that does happen, not only is it maybe not good for AD because you don't have that potential Buffalo landing spot, but that's where Xavier Worthy, if teams are high on Troy Franklin, that's where those guys could sneak in on the back end of the first. And our exposure is extremely high, actually, to that whole group between AD, Ladd, and Worthy early. And Bry H with the early teams dead. Vape, what's going on, dude? Where's Freeman to the Cowboys? Get him in your queue. It's gross. It's gross. Yeah, Bindies. I definitely should have hit a set of curls before coming on. That's for sure. HN is a smash. The 201. We dragged him here. Team full of fades. The team has to make sense. All right, we're not going 4 running backs in a row just because it's our absolute lowest exposure, but we will go to the next position and take our lowest exposure guy. We will do that. We definitely need at least 1 receiver here, and preferably we need 4 receivers in a row after going double RB. It's extremely hard to recover. So already looking at this group, I don't even know why I have a light fade on Smith. Like I like Devonta Smith. He's just one of those guys that I haven't ended up with that much of. Only thing I can think, like, in my psyche here, in my head, is I just didn't think he's someone that was gonna get positive movement. Like, you're always gonna be able to get him in this range, which has been true since contest open. So, where I do want some more of him, I have 8 drafts left for the big board. In that range, he always went in. I just felt like there were players that were mispriced, like Drake London. We drafted him all the way down from 44 all the way down to, I like him at his current ADP. Now, early drafters, there's teams where he fell and we got him at 51. You're going to be at a little disadvantage. Does it matter in the long run if you're making better correlated teams with more information with these later drafts? It's tough to tell. Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts here would be a nice little combo. 5.6% on Jalen Hurts. And our Devonta Smith is at 4.2. That being said, we should be double tapping receiver. Let's see who else is in here. I wish we could be clicking Rice in this range. We might do it anyways. We should get one. We should get one FU pick. Damn it, it's Tank Dell. He's at 4.9. Smith is low. What's my Cup Expo? Cup's at 6%. Pittman's at 7%, but I also have a ton of A-Rich. Oh, dear. If one of these two go, we should be able to click Rice. I just want some late Rice ADPs. It just seems... I think we still have him ranked. I can double check. I believe I have him in the 33 range, 33, 34. He's behind DK because I have DK raised up. I definitely have him over Pittman. And then we have Tank Dell down even lower, but who's going to be our second guy here? That's going to be the question. It's probably going to be Zay Flowers. That's gross. That's so gross. We can't go Lamar. We could go Kelsey. Let's click Tank Dell. The other receivers in this range, I know I have. Pittman's at 7%. He's technically under the field average. So we'll bring him in here at 37 with Tank Dell. We get a little falling value as well. Yeah, Bry wanted Pittman bad. Bry wanted Pittman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my. It's crazy because Mike's not even kidding. Like, he's not even joking. Like, I've seen him do it. That might have been a biggest board draft. That might have been a biggest board draft that we saw Mike do that. I think we sort of lucked out here. I don't really recognize many names beyond Wakey Wakey. And even then, not 100% sure if this is a fan of the show or if this is just someone that I recognize drafting with. But I think we're on the back end, maybe making out because the Pounders have maxed the contest. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for us. What's my pick? I wonder what my Pickens exposure is at now. We're at 7.7%. If Zay Flowers comes back around, which he's not going to, he would be our lowest on the board. Yeah, he would fall 13 picks. There's no chance. He's gone. He's gone now. Wonder what? It's probably going to be Reed. Reed's at 4.9%. And honestly, this is another one sort of like Devonta Smith. I was selecting players around him, mainly Kirk. Kirk has risen over the contest. Terry's another one that we're lower on. Actually caught up, surprisingly. Been clicking him a lot over the last 2 weeks. He just goes in the right range, in my opinion. Jordan Addison. Oh, don't make us. Don't make us. Oh, it's already getting ugly. And then Kamara's in this range. Luckily, we need receivers. Otherwise, Kamara would have to be an instant click for us. Dude, he's not even... I can't. We didn't even accidentally auto-click him. We didn't even auto-click the man this year. It's tough. It's a tough day for Alvin here. All right. Anyone doing anything too crazy? Elite QBs in the middle of the draft. Josh Allen with Kelsey. I like this start from the 2 spot. Doubling up on Miami here. Brings in James Cook, Buffalo. Maybe get a little week 17 Buffalo versus Miami. Mahomes with Rice at 48. Like, it's so sick. It's so sick. It's so sick. Where we already know where everyone was taking Rice pre-accidente. We know what his potential value is worth based on what? 80% of the drafts at the time of that accident? He's being drafted in the late second round. Like, if he doesn't miss games, you're getting a 2-round discount for nothing. So it's just the contest. It's the type of contest where you want to take those sort of risks. It's 223,000. Only one person wins. All right, multiple people win. Only one person wins 200K though. Just seems like the upside play. Don't make me draft a third running back here, Adam. Terry's not a fade. I'm at 8.5%. So it's not a fade. I have been clicking a lot more on the back end. But dude, like Pitts is going to pass him. But yeah, really just Pitts in this range is really who I like better than Terry. So I just like the range he's in is just mint. Yeah, I can't. Sorry, I have him queued. I see it now. I see the mistake. Yo, this is too good. This is quality. Adam says Kamara is basically a wide receiver. Oh shit. It's true. It's real. What's our Stroud exposure? We could bring in Stroud here. We're at 5.6%. We could bring in Stroud. Stroud is someone that shit. They get Diggs. Didn't see that coming. Like, I didn't like his range. It's true. I did not like the range he was in pre-Diggs. Now I think it's worth it. Now I think it's worth it. Kincaid's at 5.6%. We also could bring in Stroud's a definite, which is cool. Richardson's obviously that would just be for correlation, but we have 11%. So that's maybe cheating a little too much. Stroud and oh my god, it might have to be Addison. Please. It's Addison at 4.9% or Kincaid at 5.6. Uh, we'll go Kincaid. We'll go Kincaid. We're gonna have to catch up at receiver. Hopefully we can stop at 2 tight ends. Reed would have been nice. I will say Reed would have opened us up for Jordan Love, who we're also low on. Oh my god. I didn't know. We're very low. we have very little Jordan Love. A fraction of a percent. Alex Von Kincaid, you ask, and I deliver. Last year was what, 662 or 667,000, and it filled. They're probably gonna shoot for what, 750,000 at $25 a pop. It's crazy. It's nuts. We'll see if first place goes to 4 million. It very easily could. I don't fully agree with like it being so top heavy, but I do like the regular season payouts where it rewards good drafters that have good roster construction. Is it easy to plan for, the regular season? Really? You need a lot of luck with bye weeks. Like this guy's on a bye week. This guy steps up during that bye week, week 7. Like can't really plan a whole lot. But I will say it is a little more minus EV to go 2 QBs with the same bye week and just sticking with that, or having tight ends with the same bye week and just sticking with that. When you're not getting, you lose out on, 18 points at QB on a single week is the difference of tens of thousands of teams. So drafting strategies does curve a little bit, and then it's probably better to do your BBM drafts if you're focusing regular season towards the end of the draft season. So we are going to pace ourselves just like we did in this contest. Get our drafts in at different points in the off season. Drafting around news when it pops up, trying to leverage different spots, trying to get ahead of player ADP, which is what we're doing in the CSV. Yeah, this could happen. Oh, God, Wix. This could happen. But let's see what comes back to us. We could go JSN here based on our exposures. And that actually I'm cool with because we're getting a better price than when people are drafting him at like 58, 59, 60. So I'm cool with getting JSN on the back end of this contest. So we'll queue up JSN at 4%. We'll probably queue up Watson at 1%. Hopkins, I think I'm a little, I'm at 6.3%. Even when Ridley wasn't there, I just always sort of figured they were going to add to this group. Now Hopkins should still be the one, but I don't think he fell enough. Like Ridley comes to Tennessee and Hopkins falls like 5 spots, 6 spots. I get it. There's not enough like receivers in this range to move up. And I think that's where some of these rookies, if AD does end up in Buffalo and he's someone we have very aggressively ranked, Worthy could get a good landing spot. Ladd could get a good landing spot. These are guys that could very easily sneak up here. I'm done drafting Curtis Samuel for this contest though. We completely smashed that closing line value. There's no point chasing more shares for me right now. We're still at 17%, and I haven't drafted him in weeks. It would have been nice to actually get Watson there. What do we do if JSN goes? Okay, good. At least we get JSN. Ugh, is this Tony Pollard? Please, someone else. Tony Pollard or Swift? Ah. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. It could be JMO too at 85. We could go JMO here. Doesn't really work with our Goff exposures at 10% because we have so much Amon-Ra. It's got to be Pollard or Swift. It's got to be Pollard or Swift. We're staying true to the fades. We'll go TP. Wipe your butt with some TP. 85 directly at ADP. We started Stroud, Kyron, Achane, Tony Pollard, Dell, Pittman, JSN, Kincaid. We need a back-to-back receivers. Like, almost no matter what. This does open up. It does open up Geno too, which is okay. Mike Williams, I think we're ahead of ADP. So JSN on the way back around. Dobbs. Where did Love go off the board? Love went off the board at 82. So I don't think Dobbs makes it past 106. I'm going to click Myers here so bad. Or Lockett. Fantasy Football Garage. What's going on, my dude? Alex has Swift, I think. They're going to release so many contests this year. Think about the contests that came out even towards the back end, like weekly winners. You had the Eliminator, which was that was such a fun contest. The Eliminator was such a fun contest. We could bring in Shakir here. I wish Downs. Man, Downs is definitely not a fade for me. Okay. He's actually lower than I thought, but we would have a double stack without A-Rich. That seems bad. That doesn't seem like a plus EV play there. Ugh. Judy? No. Someone's got to take Judy in front of me. I'd rather take a fourth running back than take Judy. It might have to happen, though. That's gross. All right, 80 off the board at 91. Swift one at 90. Chubb, Eckler, Jalen Warren, Jake Ferguson. Maybe this guy stops at 2. I would be with Ingram and Fergie. Wow. The Dak, this is just so Dak off the board at 70. 10 picks before ADP, right? Doesn't take Ferguson on the way back around, right? Which is fine. That's a reach. Super reach is 75. Then at 94, he still doesn't take Ferguson. And he doesn't have Lamb. Just naked Dak. Great. We're gonna beat out that 558 team final with naked Dak. Yeah, it's interesting. That's a take. Not saying it's the right take. That's a take though. Let's go. The dummies had a little rework. I was in the lab. I was in the lab. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh god, even JMO's off the board. I just wish one of these were in my fades list. Maybe we do have to go Josh Downs. Yikes. Yikes. Otherwise, we're doing what? Like we can't correlate a QB right now. Even two is off the board. Dobbs just goes, which we called that 106. So that's where, like, if you look ahead, you can mentally prepare for teams, taking their correlated guys if you're paying attention. Benson would be nice here. I guess we can go Downs. Actually, we're going Shakir. And surprisingly, I have less Lockett than I have Downs. We have the double stack, so Geno becomes a super high target for us. Do we stop at two QBs with Stroud and Geno? Seems risky. That seems risky. And what's our Schultz exposure? 13%. Damn it. Not that there's a good chance he's not there. But I'd probably stop at two tight ends with Kincaid and Schultz. In an 18-round draft, that's 100%. In a 20-round draft, I think it would open up a third QB for this team. So it would be worth it in that sense. And the receiver room's looking a little better. If you like squint one eye and then you cover the other one, it does look a little better. Fantasy Football Garage says, compared to last year's elite tight end prices, Kincaid seems like a steal to me. Been drafting a ton since the Diggs trade. Yeah, he didn't get a mega ADP boost from Diggs leaving. It's interesting. Like the team still has to bring someone in. Is the field baking that in already? I think so, because you're not getting like Khalil Shakur is not getting that huge bump. He's risen a little bit. After the news that Curtis Samuel came, like Shakir fell quickly. Curtis Samuel passed him. They're bringing in a receiver. They're bringing in a receiver. Buffalo's not headed to week 1 with the same team that they have right now in the receiver room. Who they bring in could positively or negatively affect the guys right now. But Kincaid, I agree. His ADP seems pretty damn fair right now. At pick 59. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan. Let's go. 18% Kincaid. See, I passed on Kincaid early, but only to draft Ingram, only to draft Kyle Pitts when he was going near pick 100. So I was passing on Andrews, Kincaid to draft early Trey McBride. So like a lot of those drafts in my first, I would say even in my first, like 75 to 100. Then you had Ridley leave. I'm still clicking Ingram. I don't think Ingram got the boost, the high enough boost that he deserved. Now, he goes off the board at 71 here. And he has risen significantly. He has risen at least a round and a half. But now Kincaid, now that those ADPs on Pitts, on Ingram, now that those guys have adjusted, Schultz doesn't feel as good anymore. He doesn't feel like the value he was pre-Diggs. Some of these later tight ends take a hit. Keenan Allen kind of hurting Komet a little bit. Kincaid feels better. Those early tight ends feel better. I think that's why. Dude, is this just random Kirk? Yeah, this is just random Kirk Cousins here. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, especially because the Drake London squad right here. Can he even go a third QB with Joe Burrow and Kyler? Probably shouldn't. All right. Goddamn. Corum's definitely in our fade list. We could go Justin Herbert and Quentin Johnston. Let's go Herbert first. Let's go Herbert first. Please tell me Palmer. Palmer's at 7%. Quentin Johnston's at 0.7%. All right. We bring in Quentin Johnson, the only one drafting him before ADP in the entire country. But at least it's correlated. At least it's correlated. And then we bring in Geno late with this double stack. And I feel good about those 3 QBs. We get Justin Herbert at 132. I didn't even see that. We get him 16. We get him almost a round and a half after ADP. We have our 3 running backs that should be getting a good amount of carries, good amount of work. So we feel good about that. Our receiver room, we're probably going to need, oh God, we need at least 9. At least 9. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Man, if you guys didn't catch the live stream before this with Ben, Steph, Drew, Nick, give that one a watch afterwards. We all go through our exposures that Ben put together, some in-depth exposure charts and spreadsheets. It was definitely one for the spreadsheet boys. That was a great stream. A lot of fun. Can we even call it a bounce back year? It like wasn't bad enough that the team wasn't doing great. But like towards the end of the season, he had a chance to, make an okay catch. He just drops it. He is a body guy. He does need the ball tucked into the body. Hi. 56%. 56%. Go get your guys. Go get your guys. If Wicks falls, we have to draft him just based on us having goddamn like none. Like 0.7. So that's 1 draft. We selected Wicks once, and I probably wasn't happy about it. Mims is another fade for us. 2.8%. I would feel a little better about Mims here. It's just crazy that both of these guys go in front of Ricky Pearsall and Roman Wilson. It's just crazy. Geno Smith at 174. Can we plan on Geno Smith at 180? I think we have to. We're not going Geno Smith at 157. We have 2 of the pass catchers. Where's the DK team? I guess this is probably the smart thing to do, would be look at where DK is. 35. Of course, he's right next to us. And he has just a Rich at QB. So is there a QB that makes sense for his team at 155? Is Drake May still on the board? He could go May if he thinks May's going to Washington. How about Rodgers? Is Rodgers still up there? No. Who went Rodgers? 137 to pair with Williams. Okay, that makes sense. See, this guy knows what's up. Roman Wilson before Wicks and Mims. This guy knows what's up. And for the first time today, we met a fan of the show at the hardware store, just picking up some weed and feed. Kid that rang me out. Shout out to Harry. That was a fun experience. First person I met that wasn't a fan. That was a fan that wasn't a family member, I should say. Ah, ah. Please, someone draft Wicks. Please. Where's the love team? Do your job. Do your job. Do not let Wicks get by you. You need the triple stack. Don't let the haters tell you otherwise. You need the triple stack. Oh, actually, I'd rather Wicks than Thielen. I would rather Wicks than Thielen. I take it back. I take it back. You don't need the triple stack. You do not need the triple stack. Can I try to convince the live stream that Kendra Miller's on my fade list? Is that is that sellable? How about Algier? Is that sellable? Okay. It's good. It's good. We'll take it. Wicks off the board. This man has a 1642 build. Like what? How? Like I like the RB room, but like you're done. Like you can't draft anymore. The receiver rooms needs help. The Musgrave pick was probably a trap. So we have to go Mims here. And then it might be weird because I like him. What's my Pat Fry expo? 10%. Big fail. Big fail. Do we just go Gino here? Let's bring in Mayor. Let's try to push him. So Mayor, surprisingly, under 8%. I'm at 7%. That one surprises me. I'm sure I'll get to over 8% by contest fill. But yeah, that one's interesting. I'm surprised. I think he's just like when I'm drafting with the Pounders, like people are always reaching up on him. I can never get him where I want him. This spot seems to make sense. We bring him in with Kincaid. We probably do need a late tight end. And so what are we looking at? 3, 5, 9, 3. Something like that. 3, 5, 9, 3. Just because our receiver room's so gross. At least we have spike week guys, right? Like at least we're drafting the right prototypes. Just stashing them all on the same team. It's oh man, we do need some sort of floor for this team, not named Adam Thielen. We need some sort of floor not named Adam Thielen. If you guys are just joining me, go down, slap the like on the live stream, hit the subscribe button. We are 2 subs away from the big 1200. Alex brings up a good point. In my mind, Chargers have to see something QJ to let go of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. It makes sense, but maybe they see something in Joshua Palmer. That could be the worry. That could be the worry. I'd be happy with Gino on the next one. We probably need what? A running back before. So, like, where's a fade of mine? Bucky Irving's on the fade list, but I don't even think my body will let me click him right now. Elijah Mitchell's on the fade list, and he could make sense on this team as well. It's at 4.2%. He's really the only running back in here besides Keaton Mitchell. But Keaton Mitchell is just, I don't even think it's a good click right now for multiple reasons. What's my Shipley exposure? Bro, my God. How's my Shipley exposure at 5.6%? He's someone I actually like. How about, I wonder if I got him in any of the biggest board drafts. Nice. Okay, I have him in a biggest board. That feels good. That feels good at least. Nice. Let's go. J-Dub's in the house. I have to mark it. I do. I'm going to mark this one. I need to know. Have we been drafting wrong the entire offseason? Closing line value says we haven't. Let's put it that way. Alex says, this team's not even that bad being stacked out, to be honest. I kind of like it. Not chalked. Yeah, it's definitely not chalk for our exposures. Even just adding a few of these guys in there. You can make any team balanced. I think that's the point of this stream. You can balance a team of your fades if you try hard enough. It just takes a little extra thinking and maybe some quick fingers to do some searches. It's cool because we smashed on some of these fades, right? Like Tank Dell being on the fade list. Now we're getting him at 36. Thank you. JSN on the fade list. Shakir, I drafted him actually closer to where he started. Lockett shouldn't be a fade, but he's just under. He was at, I think, 7. Quentin Johnson, this is whatever. Mims, this is sort of whatever. With Judy leaving, obviously the door opens for Mims, but Kincaid feels good to draft now. Mayer is someone that shouldn't be under 8%, and I'm confident we will get to 8% or higher by the end of the contest fill. This is the big one. This is the Metcalf guy. We should have Geno here, which is sick. Geno, Elijah Mitchell on the way back around. We bring in Shipley and a wide receiver or a tight end. Unless this guy has other plans. This is the DK drafter, right? But he brought in Drake May, exactly like we thought. Okay. All right. It's falling. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place here. They're falling into place. You notice we don't have that, we have 0 rookies. Not fading a ton of rookies. Besides Corum. I know Corum in this range, Bucky, some of these later guys, but we hit on so many rookies this offseason. It just seems to be a trend every year. If you do your research early, and this year we were forced to do it even earlier, we didn't even get that 2-week break during that, that lull period waiting for a Super Bowl. We didn't even get that this year. So that's when I started having to look into these rookies. The big board opened. And even then, it took me 4 or 5 days to catch up before I did my first couple drafts, come out with the first draft guide at, I think, 6% fill rate. And that was like the day after, I believe, the Super Bowl. So Shipley here would be nice. Yikes. Tight ends in this range that I'm fading would be like Kraft. We like Jasecki. We like Fant. Okonkwo would be on that list of fades. Juwan Johnson. We could bring in Juwan Johnson as well. I just don't think he's going to be there. And then Likely is interesting. Likely is technically under 8%, but he's someone we're really almost exclusively pairing with Lamar. I do think Likely spike weeks are heavily correlated with Lamar spike weeks. That's why I'm probably not that high on Zay Flowers too. Similar reasoning, and I don't think Zay Flowers is a good value in this range for whatever reason. That take could be completely wrong, but it's just how I feel about Zay Flowers in this 42 spot. I think he goes about around early, 8-10 picks. We'll see who comes back to us here. But we definitely need 2 more receivers to end this, to cap this draft. We're hoping Shipley makes it back to us, which he should. With Ray Davis and Sanders in front, he should make it back to us. The all gross team. It's yeah. There's no way around it. This team's gross. This team's gross. But we got at least the right prototype players. And we don't have to worry about drafting Adam Thielen. So it's a good day. It's a real good day. Greg Dortch could make. No. I can't even sell him. Dobbins off the board. We're up in 8 picks. Pierce off the board. A few picks away here. Is there a receiver? I guess DeMarcus Robinson would be on the fade list. It just doesn't feel good. This one would not feel good. I want an RB. It's definite that we're bringing in an RB. And if it has to be Madison, I might have to quit streaming. Please, Shipley, be there. We have to pray. You have to believe. You have to believe. Devontae Walker off the board. What's my Boyd exposure? Boyd would fit this team. Damn it. Damn it. Reynolds. We are under on Johnny Wilson, so we could hack our way into this pick. Jamari. Okay. All right. It's happening. It's happening. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Conklin off the board. No. No, Joe. No, Joe. That's not the way the story was written. That's not the way the story was written. You got to follow the script. This guy's deviating from the script here. Ah, tragic. Tragic. I don't know if my body will let me click Madison. Let me peek. The first Madison share. Whew, we're down bad. We're down bad. We're bringing in Kraft as a third tight end. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but I feel good enough at the other positions where we just need one running back and we need 2 receivers, and this team's done. It is gross to say that one running back is going to be Alexander Madison. Israel Abanikanda is above. Bigsby's at 14%. Sanders is at 10%. Gainwell's at 10%. It's Madison here, boys. This is what you came here for. This is what you came here for. Max Payne. And then Johnny Wilson goes directly off the board to the team that can't stop selecting rookie receivers minus Josh Downs, which is fine. Actually, I don't mind this group. It's just, I think, man, I'm personally going Tyler Boyd here instead of Johnny Wilson. Just with these 3 rookies, you're leaning so much into these rookies already. And then you're probably bringing in another receiver at the end. And who's there? More rookies, because those vets are even more dust in the next round. So I do think, and there's a chance that Johnny Wilson's there. So I do think that's where I use Boyd in those, and that's probably why I'm above Field on Boyd. Is I think he can fit certain molds of teams that you're building. 2 rounds left. Zach Ertz now going in the 18th round. Zay Davis, I'm not overly impressed. with Isaiah Davis's tape. Madison equals AJ Dillon. In the sense that they'll both disappoint? Sure. You're good, Al. You're good. I love it, man. I think I'm at 10%. Sanders. I'm at 10.7% Miles Sanders in the big board. Actually, I'm sorry. These are not big board exposures. We're at 12% for the big board. And Chuba, we're at 13%. So I actually like both. I like both Carolina running backs based on where they're going. Again, if Carolina doesn't touch at RB, and even if they do, the amount that they're paying Sanders, like, even if he is the backup to Chuba, it's a good spot for a handcuff running back in the deep 18th round. Like, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for guys that we can say, this is the backup if the starter gets hurt. 18th round, you're not finding too many guys that are like change of pace, like he's getting 10 to 12 carries a game. You're not really looking for that. You're looking for, okay, if the starter gets hurt, who is the for sure certain number 2 guy? And obviously nothing's 100% this time of year, but it does seem like there is a little more certainty with Sanders. Even if he was wildly inefficient last year. Wildly. But that O-line they may as well have been, a priest or something. They were holy. They were holy. 2 clicks left, and it's back-to-back receiver here, I believe. It's back-to-back receiver. It'll leave us with Stroud, Herbert, and Geno Smith at QB, Kyron, Achane, Pollard, Elijah Mitchell, and Alexander Madison at running back. So obviously leaning into these 3 running backs, handcuff, Tank Dell, Pittman, JSN, Khalil Shakir, Tyler Lockett, Quinn Johnson, Marvin Mims, plus 2 more receivers, and then Kincaid, Mayer, and Kraft. I can already tell you, Burks is probably on this list. Actually, like, all of these guys are on my fade list right here. So this wouldn't be a bad time to bring in a rookie like Brendan Rice. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Say his name. Oh, I'm sorry. Smith is actually he's an okay click. For whatever reason, I was thinking of Isaiah. Is it Isaiah Davis, the running back? Let's go Thrash here. What's our Mingo exposure? Mingo and Burks are at the same. Bourne's actually lower than both of them, which is surprising. They're both gross. I would probably rather Bourne. Let's go Mingo. Oof. Okay, so we bring in a year 2 guy with Mingo. We bring in a year 2 guy with Johnston. Both wildly disappointed as rookies. Did we just get 1 rookie this draft? We tried for Shipley, but again, we're above field on so many rookies that it was actually tough to find spots to bring them in this draft. Yeah, I'm thinking of Isaiah Davis for whatever reason when you said Smith. Isaiah Davis, I don't like his profile. I wasn't impressed with his tape. Smith, I like. Mac Hollins is replaceable. I don't think he's like a terrible click on the back end here, but I did go through a phase of clicking a little bit of Mac Hollins in the little board. CMC's brother. It's not as Doesn't have the same ring, right? Luke McCaffrey, it doesn't have the same ring. It's tough. Like LMC. Ah, eh. I don't mind the Smith click in this range. Thrash is fine. Wonder actually what my exposure to Thrash is, because a lot of people came off this click. I've hit it 5 times. This would be 6 for like around 3.84%. Curious? Oh, man, I wanted Tim Patrick to have a good year last year. After having 24% 2 years ago and then still being at 8% last year. Taj Washington's another fun one to mix in. Someone that's really not being drafted all that much. I have 4 shares. But we officially have 7 big boards left until the first major contest has been completed. So we might have to, we might actually have to do 1 or 2 off stream. But I do want to get a double stream going soon. Kiddo 6, so we're dealing with that right now. But I would like to get a double draft in, let's say, this shouldn't fill by Friday. I don't. It depends. Some of these drafts, like, they really pick up on the back end because people are like, oh, I'm only going to do 10 or 20. And then it starts to fill and people are like, oh, like, I got to get to 50. It's like out of nowhere. And it seems like everyone does it at the same time. It's like FOMO almost like kicks in. But yeah, we'll cover the team real quick. I know you guys seen it. Stroud, Herbert, and Geno Smith, Kyron, Achane, Pollard, Mitchell, and Alexander Madison, with Tank Dell, Pittman, JSN, Shakir, Lockett, Quentin Johnson, Marvin Mims Jr., Jamari Thrash, Jonathan Mingo, with Kincaid, Mayer, and Kraft. Kraft, this could be a running back too. I'm cool with just sticking with these 2 tight ends. I think is more like a luxury pick, like where you're going to get more points. Would we rather Kraft or like Tank Bigsby on this team? I think you can argue for either or. Just based on a starting double RB, we chose to lean into that. And yeah, we still found some correlation with Herbert. We got a double with Geno, with JSN, and Lockett. And we got our Tank Dell stack with Stroud. Fun draft, even if it is team of fades. Like, there's no reason that you have to make it so it has a 0% chance to win in the finals or a 0% chance to advance. You can still find ways to draft fun teams doing these little challenges. So appreciate everyone coming out. If you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream, on the way out, slap the like, leave a comment if you have time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Pounders.